Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Welcome both of you to come on board from Bolzer. Uh, have you been to Australia before, you guys?
We have, yeah. So this will be our fourth time.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I must have missed you those times. When was the last time you were out then?
2019.
Yeah,
And then previously, first time was 14, I think.
Ah, was that a
So,
sound wave?
it was.
Yeah.
no,
No.
uh,
First time was supporting Behemoth and Watain,
yeah,
and then a
Right.
short Mayhem as well. And the last time in 2019 was on our own.
on our own, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, fantastic. I again apologize. I just haven't really got around to seeing you guys, and hopefully
Sure.
I'll be there one of the ones coming up because you're supporting Portal, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
It's
stoked.
co-headlining,
Yeah,
so
no, we're supporting them. Yeah, yeah.
support.
That's
Yeah.
which was obviously the big reason we wanted to do this as well. We're huge fans and great guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're lovely guys. For the kind of music they make, they're such down-to-earth, nice people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Uh, Very much like yourselves. It's always interesting when you meet people that make extreme creative music, and they're always the nicest people. You expect them to be,
Yeah.
sort of angry and aggressive, and they're usually just so laid back. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah. There are a few exceptions to the rule, I think, but
I'm sure there are, but I haven't met one yet. So hopefully,
no. Yeah, true.
and you're touring off. Obviously, you've got the album that came out back in, is it 2016?
Mhm.
Yeah, Hero.
Yes.
Yeah, so will you be obviously will you be playing most of the tracks from that, or a mix of EPs and
And we did have another release, an EP out in 2019,
yes,
just before the pandemic, so we didn't tour that mo one
the
much.
Majesty. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we actually just finished the recording a new album.
Ah,
That's due for release next year, though. So on this tour, we will play some new material as well, and of course,
Yeah.
stuff from our old catalog. Yeah.
yeah,
We yeah, we usually play, sort of main important tracks from all of the releases. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think you probably. I mean, you've got such. Your music is sort of diversely intricate and interesting, and sort of unusual in that respect in the extreme music scene. When I listen to your music, there's a little bit more. It's a little more texture to it than just aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot, there's quite a few bands doing this, I mean, I don't like to say progressive, but for
Mm.
me, it's kind of normal, having a very dynamic output. But we never really felt alone in that sense, although we know what we're doing is kind of unique. But I think there are a lot of great um, bands, new bands and old, that have really started to branch out a little, and that's always nice to see. Yeah.
I think I agree with you when the term progressive. I love progressive music. I do I just love prog in general, and it's always
Hmm.
interesting when he's thrown at bands and the musicians go, "No, no, we're just being ourselves. We're just doing something that we like to do. It's no different to what we
Yeah.
would normally do. I think it's just the music scene. I think the music industry's boxes. Like put
Yeah,
you in this
yeah.
box, put you in that box, kind
Right.
of kind
I
of
think,
thing.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's always a place for this more, black and white is kind of like stative style,
Hmm.
like real black metal or real
Heuristic, yeah.
Hmm.
puristic. I think that's also important. And yeah, I don't know. There's another group of people that take inspiration from that, but just by their own means. Yeah.
For us, it just came natural that way.
Mm,
We both have a big musical horizon, and I mean, we have very similar taste in music, but the influences are not directly contributing to what we're doing, you know. I mean, not directly, but
No.
it's definitely there, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just whatever you enjoy or get a good feeling from, kind of finds a way into your music. But we try to let our own writing come from a personal place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose you're from so different backgrounds as well, culturally, that you would
Mm.
all bring different cultural aspects to the music. I mean, there's a lot of folk in there as well, isn't there? So there's a fair bit of sort of folky stuff, I think. And maybe it's just me that's hearing that, but I hear a folk influence in it.
Yeah, yeah, in a way.
Hmm.
I mean, I like, we both do, minimalistic instrumentation in a lot of different styles. And, I think it's fascinating to be able to make a lot out of less. Um, so that's certainly an anchoring inspiration in our music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that as well because we live in a world where music is so heavily overproduced.
Mm.
So much goes on in a record that you can't almost not play it live.
Yeah.
It's so overproduced that it's
Yeah,
just this
exactly.
sort of like 12 violins. Am I going to reproduce that?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
But with bands like
And
yourself, who can make a big noise, but with less,
sure.
is much better.
Yeah. I mean, we're aware of the limitations of being a duo. But we realize there's a lot that we're able to do as well. And I think that's the important thing to focus on. And this is one, I guess the band BÖLZER is kind of like one outlet for who we are as people. We have a lot of other sort of musical aspirations as well. But yeah.
Does it
Yeah,
make
I'm
it?
happy,
Yeah, yeah. Does it make it
having that,
easier? Sorry, carry on, carry on.
sorry,
You carry on.
I just wanted to say having that limitation or challenge of being only two people, I think it's pretty much at the center of it all because it's like in a
Mm,
way also for our personal friendship
mm.
and communication as friends, you know, it's like the how you say
It's the product of that, but it's also like a catalyst
yeah.
um, for a lot of what we feel. Yeah, our friendship is very central to the music too. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it must be. That's probably why it comes such across as quite a tight sound in what
Mm,
you make because it's just two of you bouncing the ideas around. It doesn't
hmm.
get flabby, does it? Because it's just the two
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
single-minded focal points. I mean, the greatest music in the world is written by two people. Lennon and McCartney is a good example, right? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
yeah. So I'm interesting to when you play live, how you're going to bring that sound. Like I said, like you said, you've been here before, and I haven't seen you, which says I'm excited to see. 'Cause I love Portal. I'm going to come and see you guys.
Cool.
But I'm just interested in how you're going to bring that sound because it is textured, it is interesting, and it is.
Mm.
And do you obviously, if this is you two, who do you use for the rest of the band? Do you have a touring band with you, or?
No, we just perform as two, and yeah, we just over all the years we've just found the way that we do it. Obviously, as the guitarist, I send my signal to a number of different outputs,
Mm.
and yeah, there's no tricks in there. There's no looping or anything like that. It's just very
No,
very basic.
I mean I see ourselves pretty much as a live band and the
Yeah,
way we write music and record it as well is pretty much the way we play it live too. So
yeah,
Good. And
yeah,
yeah, well, that's exactly what you want, though, isn't it? I mean, I know when I go to see a band, I want to be able to hear them. I don't want a CD quality because that's not the same thing. But you want to sort
yeah,
of, if you know a track well, you want to hear it how they produce
exactly.
it, not like a
Yeah,
CD. You
yeah,
might as well buy the CD and stay at home. You
yeah, for
know,
sure.
definitely, yeah.
you
I
want the
think,
energy.
yeah, I mean, most of my favorite bands, I like to put bands or musicians or artists into I think they often have two faces, like the live expression and the recorded version. And I think
Mm.
often recordings are a nice reference to what the songs communicate, but the live performance is often, the bulk of the expression, the emotions behind it, yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
especially for heavy music.
Yeah, yeah. When
Yeah.
solos are never the same, are they? You'd know that as a guitarist. You're gonna go off somewhere for a little wherever you feel. You might go off somewhere and come back
Yeah,
again, but in the same structure.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, we have a little bit of room for improvisation live, but I mean, obviously, because it's only two of us and it's just one guitarist, uh, things are kind of quite structured, but yeah, it's just raw and straight up.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't that? But that's what I mean. That's something I think we all crave now, genuinely, guys. As I said before, we everything's so overproduced.
Mm,
I find myself constantly going back to listen to underground bands, finding bands that are just on the edge, of
yeah,
just there. It's just where it should be. It's the sort of sweet spot of rock and roll for me.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
and I like think bands like you do that. You sit there and you give polished albums, brilliant album, great EPs, but you get that
Mm,
rawness as well, which
mhm.
is sort of a difficult balancing act.
Yeah, yeah, that's the enjoyable challenge behind it. It's you could view being a duo as quite limiting. And it's at times it's dangerous as well. If something goes wrong, then that's just you have to deal with it just the way it is.
That's rock and roll, baby. That's
Yeah, you're kind of living on the edge a little
Mm,
bit, which gives you this added like urgency, momentary urgency. And
brilliant. Again, that's and all, it must be great for you then because you haven't got to bring 9 million tons of gear with you either. I can't, traveling might be quite
yeah,
light.
You do have to carry everything with two people, though. So,
yeah,
Oh, that's
exactly.
true. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah. So we're quite used to hauling a lot of kilos around. But yeah,
Keeps you fit.
yeah, it does good.
Yeah, you just don't want to have it. You just don't want to get lost on the plane. I should touch wood. Touch this.
Yeah, no.
So, obviously, you're coming here and you're doing. I think you're playing from the 13th of August to the 23rd. Sydney, Melbourne, Hobart, and Brisbane. But you're playing the Necrosonic Festival in Brisbane. That's
Yes.
going to be a bit of a good one for you because that's a great festival line up that one.
Yeah, as we've been told, and it's obviously, yeah, it's quite the lineup. So
That's really stacked, and we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, particularly when it'd be nice and warmish there around that time. It won't be too
But
cold.
it's very warm here right now.
Whereabouts are you?
We're in Zurich right now,
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
middle of summer.
Yeah, yeah. I've not been there. I've not been to Switzerland, unfortunately. I've been all over Europe, but that's the one country. My daughter went and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, nice.
I've got Swiss friends, but I've never. One day I might trek over there and see it in all its
Yeah,
glory.
yeah. So
You're
you're
still.
originally from England, yeah?
I'm from
Yeah,
London. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
You've got an Australian accent.
New Zealand, yeah, I
New
grew up in.
Zealand. Oh my God, strike me down. I'm so sorry.
Shame on.
Shame on me. No, I love New Zealand. Some brilliant bands coming out of New Zealand at the moment. Like just like Alien Weaponry and bands like that are just for a
Yeah,
small island producing such good music.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
actually they're quite a good example of minimalistic, solid writing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And they really know how, like yourself, they funnel into their origins, their
Hmm.
Maori sort of heritage, which is
Hmm.
something really sort of I find fascinating. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
because here in Australia, I don't think we do that as much as we possibly could. I'm not
Yeah.
going to
And
get onto a political soapbox here, but I'll. What I mean.
yeah,
Um,
that would be cool to see something like that, some indigenous
be brilliant.
modern. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But India, of all places, India's going nuts with their extreme metal and their metal scene in general.
They are, yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite
the,
quite the scene over there.
yeah. Have you played there at all?
No, that's one of the countries we haven't. Yeah.
We'd love to, yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we never know. You never know. One day, right?
Yeah, for
One.
sure.
There's
I
always a
think
one day.
certainly possible.
Yeah, jump on board. I mean, there's so much good stuff coming all over the world. But
Mhm.
so you're coming out, you're doing those short shows with Portal, and then where'd you go from there? Are you traveling on to Europe from there again, or?
I mean, at the moment we're kind of in a in between phase before releasing a new record, right?
Oh,
So
of
we
course.
it's not much going on the live front. We're still finishing all the stuff surrounding the new album, and then really gonna start again next year with the release.
Hmm.
Brilliant. And hopefully we'll get a headline tour over here then.
Yeah,
You will get, yeah, we'll definitely have an Australasian run with the new record at some point. So, yeah.
Brilliant. You can pop home and say hello to family and come back over here. Like,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
tax write-off. I'm just in the family. No, it's nothing to do with it. Oh dear, dear. So look, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate the chat. Again, looking forward to seeing you for the first time. I'm sure the audience here are looking forward to seeing you all again, those that have seen you before. And I hope you get to some time off and rest to see the country a bit and not have to work too much.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this time there's no real
pretty
travel.
tight, yeah.
Yeah. And as we said, we've just got so much to do.
Oh, of course,
Otherwise,
gotta get back
we
and
will be
finish
coming
recording.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
But next time for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Before I go, quickly, it's a question I actually meant to ask earlier and I completely forgot. Because you both live in this, so you record traditionally, we both in the studio together, or do you record separately and then bring your
No, no, no.
work?
We both went to Stockholm to Studio Cobra and recorded with Coney Martin Ehrenkrona. Yeah. So
Wow.
we definitely always record together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good. I asked that question because it seems to be more so that people are getting that way now, coming back to traditional recording togethers in studios. The sort of that the sound is so much more organic.
Yeah, yeah,
I think then
absolutely.
that sort of, I mean, not that you can tell, I mean, digital music's so clever now, but there's that sort of sense of being together when you hear it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and capturing as much as possible of the live energy is important to us on the
Yeah,
recordings as well. Yeah.
yeah,
I
for
think that,
sure.
yeah, I think that comes across as well, that you get that sort of feel of that there's a lot of fun being done when you're playing this stuff and recording it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, I thought,
Um,
sorry, I meant to
probably
ask that. Sorry, I meant to ask it earlier.
overreaction, but no, it's an enjoyable process, albeit in a strenuous one. Yeah.
Yeah, but all art is painful. No art is easy. Oh dear. Anyway, thank you for coming on. Again, I will say goodbye, let you go. I forgot to ask that question before, and if I didn't ask it, I'd be like, I had it on my
Oh, no
list.
problem. Yeah.
Had it on my list. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
forward to see I'll probably see you in Sydney because you're in Sydney on the 13th of or was it the
Yep.
16th? No, 13th of
Perfect.
August. So it'll be a nice time to get away from cold Canberra. So
Cool, cool. Okay.
yeah. Well, bye for now, guys.
You there, man?
All right, Tony. Bye-bye.
Take care.